Verse 7. Do not marvel, I said to you, you must be born again. Okay? So Jesus said, you're not supposed to be shocked here when I say you must be born again. This ought not to come as a surprise to you when I say you must be born again. Right? Why? Okay? He will explain as well later on. So Nicodemus ought to have understood that he has to be born again. We'll see how. Verse 8. The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear its sound, but you do not know where it comes from or where it goes. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit. Okay, just quickly again about the water. If water meant anything else but the work of the Spirit, then it will be a contradiction here again. Because then here he ought to have added this words of born of water and the Spirit. It's not. Right? It's not added that. So please get away from, don't focus on it and then forget about the verse that just comes after that. Because what you're saying, if you're saying it means one of those things, then you're actually saying that this verse contradicts the verses that immediately follows. Or for some reason Jesus just forgot about it. In one sense it's important, right? Water and Spirit, and then and immediately after that, kind of not that important. So I don't know really why I said it the first time. No, I mean that's stupid. Okay, wind. The Hebrew word for spirit is ruah. Wind is a Hebrew word as well. The Hebrew word for wind is ruah, so it's a word play. Okay, it clearly points as well back to Genesis chapter 1, where the wind was, or the Spirit was over the water, right? The wind, the ruah. And then with Noah and the flood, the wind. Moses walking through the Red Sea, the wind. Right, the ruah, the Spirit is everywhere. Okay, so it's a word play going on here. And you hear, okay, the wind is not. Yeah, you kind of, if you look at these flowers, I don't know how much you can see. I can kind of see these flowers moving. There, I can see a little bit more the movement of the flowers. Okay, so I can see this wind. Now I don't know exactly where this wind comes from. I mean, the trees over there is moving quite a lot, so more. So I can maybe imagine it's, I don't know, I come in and look in the direction where the trees are swaying first before they like snap back, understand? Because I can just kind of like this kind of going because of the wind. Elasticity of the tree will bring it back, kind of idea, right? So it seems that the wind is blowing in that direction. Okay, and so somewhere there the wind starts, but where exactly the wind starts, we don't know. It's like you can't pinpoint exactly to here the wind is starting. It's a set of circumstances in the atmosphere that's going to, I mean, we know high pressure, low pressure, it's warmer one place, hotter in another place, I mean colder in another place, so there's going to be like a higher to a lower, you know, like things roll. If I let a ball roll down a hill, it's going to roll down the hill, not up the hill. Okay, that's the same kind of idea with the wind. Okay, but you don't know exactly where it's coming from. So there's a word play here, ruah, Spirit, wind, etc. Same thing. And then what you can understand, you don't know where it's coming from. Even today, we don't know where. We can explain it, we can see its effects, but we don't know where it's coming from. Okay, and where it's going. So I mean, yeah, it's going there, but how far? Okay, so it's going there, and then when does it stop? Okay, it's kind of just petering out. Why? Where exactly? When can you say now it stopped? Like fully, it's not like here's a line and here is still a little bit and there's still nothing. It fades out kind of more, right? And this is what they understood then, and this is what Jesus is using here as an example. So you don't know, and it's the same way with everyone born of the Spirit. In other words, you don't know the beginning of it. You can see the effects, right? If a person did one kind of set of things and now is doing another kind of set of things, but you can see the effects, right? But where did it start, right? You don't know. You don't know what is that point of, because it's not up to you. It's not up to your words. It's not up to you to forcing someone making a decision. I know, like, remember the story then in Russia of this American missionary who met this old lady in the street, and then, you know, like Russians do, invited him in kind of, and she was speaking and telling about, you know, born again and all those kinds of things, and he was going on and the translator was translating for him, and about after half an hour she's like, okay, thank you, here tea and everything, and it's like, you want to pray the prayer? I said, kind of no thanks. And he drank the tea, ate the cookies and stuff like that, and then he restarted, and like, you know, maybe she didn't understand the first time. And I think after 2 times, 3 times, she in the end did pray the prayer. But then this missionary was so excited. Yeah, another person in the kingdom. But the woman told, this old lady told the missionary that, you know, that's actually the only reason she did this, because she wanted to get rid of the guy. She was getting a little bit tired of him telling the same stories. Right, okay. They say on average people in Russia, all people in Russia pray the Lord's Prayer 3 times. Does it look like it? There's very few Christians. I mean Protestants. Lots of people call themselves Christian, but the vast majority are animists actually. Okay, so that's not, you can't force it onto people. Okay, you can force people in camps. We had our program built up to this day when these orphans could make a choice to follow, to pray, to put up their hand. I mean, and then that day you have 100 kids in the camp, and 96 of them put up their hand. Okay, the other 4 didn't. They are like from the church, kids from the workers kind of idea, right? So it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Next year they're there again and they do the exact same thing. Okay, that is when we are trying to force it, but we don't know. It is the work of the Spirit, like wind. We don't know it. The same with the work of the Spirit. So it's not up to you. Yes, you need to take the word, because that is what Jesus told you. Preach, teach, make disciples. That's what you're supposed to do. Baptize. That's what you're supposed to do, because Jesus said you're supposed to do that. But you can't make a person a Christian. That is the work of the Spirit. The work of the Spirit alone.